the channel. It is a little after 7 a.m. and today is Thursday, April 11th. We have a few things happening between today, tomorrow, and maybe into the weekend. So I thought I would bring you along for a few days in my life. The first interesting thing is that my brother is coming into town. He lives in Arizona and is flying in, so we need to make sure that we're ready for him. And then, of course, we have a busy day of work ahead. So I'm gonna take you along and we'll see what the next few days bring. For my brother, who actually does not make an appearance in this video, I decided to make some bran muffins, and I made them first thing so that they would be ready when he got there. I will say though, he has some food intolerances that I didn't realize, and so ultimately he decided not to eat a muffin, which is sad, but what can you do? So like I said, my brother's coming into town, and we set up this room for him so that he can be comfortable. So this couch that's usually here pulls out, and then we set up the whole bed. And this means that for the next few days, I won't be able to use the Peloton. So I'm gonna make sure I get a workout in now before he shows up in a few hours. So I ended up doing the Peloton in the room, but then coming out here for the strength training I always do afterwards. By the way, if you're curious, I try to do 20 minutes on the Peloton and then 20 minutes on the floor. And my intention is to increase that to 30-30. So right now I'm at 20-20. Actually, when I started this regimen, I was at 15-15. So 15 minutes on the Peloton, 15 minutes in front of the television, following along with, I work with Roxanne. She has a channel called Workout with Roxanne. I'll link her in the comments below so that you can check her out. But I love her kettlebell workouts, so that's primarily what I do. And I find that doing 20-20 right now works perfectly. Hopefully one day soon I'll go up to 30-30. I will say that I was really close to jumping into 30-30 before I had some stomach troubles, and then it just kind of reset the clock for me. But feeling good about doing these sessions and doing 40 minutes of workouts most mornings through my morning routine. After spending that time working out, I got right to work, and I showered, and then I got dressed, and then I got right to work, and that's when Tito arrived. So it was really nice having him. Okay, so I picked out my outfit for tomorrow, and I also planned a backup. So I'm gonna get all of that into the suitcase, zip it on up. I also have some materials. I don't know if you can see this. I didn't put it in the frame, I don't think, but I have some materials right here that I'll need for tomorrow's workshop. And then I have to get back in touch with some other clients about some of the virtual things we're doing next week. This is me packing my bag and talking to Daniel and my brother about I don't know what, but clearly very animated. Okay, we are somewhere in Jersey. I've been driving for a little over an hour. And you know how they always say, like, go use the bathroom before you leave? Well, that's great advice because, you know, then you can drive 2.5 hours and not have to stop somewhere like I do. So I just stopped at one of those service stations or service areas. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I think I'm gonna get myself something from Starbucks, and then I'm gonna get back on the road. But we are on our way to Philadelphia because I have a workshop that I'm facilitating there tomorrow. I had initially booked an Amtrak ticket, you know, to take the train out to Philly, but it is raining cats and dogs today, and I have some materials along with obviously my suitcase because I'm staying just one night over in Philly, but still I needed a change of clothes. I needed my you know, all the things, pajamas. So I was not about to lug around in the rain all of those things. So I decided to drive, and now I'm on my way in. So let's go ahead and do that, and then let's get to Philly. So I just got dinner at this place that I like, White Dog Cafe, I think it's called. Got a burger, very simple, kept it easy, a burger and some tea. But now I am at the hotel and I got a suite. I will say I will only be here for a few hours, so it feels a little silly, but it was the last thing they had. And I just didn't want to have to run around, which I hope was the right call. But let me take you on a little bit of a tour, and then we'll talk about what tomorrow will look like, which you probably won't be able to see too much of tomorrow. You know how it is when it's a client workshop. I don't really show that on my channel, but I'll just give you some insight into what to expect. Okay, let's do the tour. So when you walk in, there are two places you can go. You can either go this way or you can go this way. If we go this way first, there is the mirror I was just talking to you in. By the way, I like my outfit. I'm wearing that Spanx outfit, like sweats set. It's just so comfortable, so easy. Got the scarf, got the shoes, the jacket, it works. So here's the kitchen. Probably won't touch that. And then we have this living area. Let me turn on the lights. Don't know how. I think I need to like actually turn on. Okay, well that's the best we got. So pretty big living area, nice desk. We have the TV here. And then, like I said, we go to the other side. And this is where we have a nice bathroom, beautiful shower. I will shower tonight, so that'll be nice to experience. These are my favorite kinds of showers. The ones that have a very small lip or separation on the floor. Those are my favorite. I don't know why. I think they look the best and they feel the most high-end. And then we have the bed and a nice view of Philadelphia, or the outskirts of Philly. Definitely not the city, like the main center city area. But there we go. Probably should have turned on all the lights for you before starting this tour. So I'm feeling good about this. I probably won't go to bed for another hour and a half. Instead, I'm gonna just prep for tomorrow and make sure everything is set. And then I'm going to take a shower, get to bed, and wake up pretty early. They have breakfast at 6:30. So I'm gonna take full advantage of that. And then hopefully have a great day tomorrow. The session starts at 8 a.m. Okay? So And there is going to be no unpacking. Like, there's no need. Let me just get to work. Good morning. It is 5:13 a.m. I just woke up maybe around 5, so a few minutes ago, and I've already started getting ready. I absolutely think that on days when I facilitate early morning workshops, I struggle to sleep because I worry that I'm going to oversleep. So that's what happened today, and I was up at 5 and was like, let's just do this thing. So I'm going to get ready for the day, and it should be a good time. There are a couple of extra points I want to just review. So I'm going to get dressed and then get in front of the computer, restart the computer, make sure it's all good, and then grab breakfast. Okay, here is the outfit for today. We have this jumpsuit from Calvin Klein, and then I have these extra comfortable shoes from Aerosol. You know, I have a bunch of loafers from Aerosol, so actually I think I only have 3, but I wear them often. And then I'm going to put this sweater cardigan over this just to spice it up a little bit and make sure that I'm warm. But I feel good if I need to take it off because this is professional, it's nice and comfortable, I can move around very easily. But I like this cardigan. It's a sweater cardigan from Ann Taylor. It's got these lapels, which I appreciate. It works well with the shoes, but also I've noticed, because I've worn this cardigan once before with this jumpsuit, that I like to push it over to the side a little bit and just expose the detailing of the jumpsuit a little more, and that'll be the look for today. Okay, so I just wrapped up some work, put my away message on for my email, and got some breakfast. It's time now to head over to where I'm going to facilitate the workshop, and I'll see you on the other end. I know, not as exciting when you don't get to see the workshop. Maybe I'll tell you a little bit about it. So it's an inclusive leadership workshop with Seen at Work, my company. We do several trainings and workshops. It actually initially was not our biggest product or service. We used to do a lot more road mapping for DEI across the board, helping people with their diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy. And when I say people, I mean companies. We used to stand up diversity, equity, and inclusion councils or employee resource groups. And increasingly, we've seen, especially as things have flowed the way that they have for diversity, equity, and inclusion, there's been a lot more focus on training. And so we here and there still do elements of those other broader projects, but by and large we do a lot of training. And on top of that, we also do a lot of community building programs. So we have this one program where we bring people together from different backgrounds, and we meet with them monthly over 6 or 12 months. And that has quickly become one of our most popular offerings. But anyway, I don't know how much that interests you. I try to share the behind the scenes without getting too in the weeds about specifically what we offer. And, you know, we used to have a much bigger team. So when I first built up Seen at Work, it was right as everything started building up in 2020 around diversity, equity, and inclusion. And as an entrepreneur, I learned the hard way that it's not a good idea to scale your business just because there's such high demand. it's important to scale thoughtfully. And it's also really important to make sure that you can sustain that growth and sustain that size. I learned the very hard way that that's not always guaranteed. And I ended up having to let go of a lot of team members at one time. It was my first experience with layoffs on the side of letting people go. And it was people that had worked with me for like 2 years at the time. It was really hard. But I say that because that to me is a universal entrepreneurship learning and not specifically about the work that I do. But thankfully, the work that I do helps me think a little bit more humanely about each of those elements. And while I'm nowhere near perfect, the goal is to be as supportive as possible to people. And anyway, I don't know if that made any sense. I'm gonna go now. We're going to put my suitcase in the car and get this workshop off the ground. Just finished facilitating. The session was supposed to be 3 hours. It went to 3.5 hours because they had time and I had content. So all was good. Very engaged group, very enjoyable facilitation session. Generally just a good time. And now I have a bunch of follow-ups to do, but let's try to get home. I do have meetings in like 2 hours, and it's gonna take 2.5 minimum to get back home. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna manage that, because at a certain point, it's also difficult to find a place to stop, like a cafe. But we will navigate that together. Sorry you didn't get to see too much of Philadelphia or what I was doing. Maybe like, you know, eventually I'll get to a point where I can share more, show more. Just always want to respect the client and their privacy and don't want to make any assumptions about what they want or don't want on someone's YouTube channel. That said, let's go. 2.5 hours to drive. You know what, but I'm kind of excited. I really enjoy listening to music while I drive. It's actually really calming and there's something about it, so I'll just lean into that.